Hi everyone, this is Kyla from Hidden Gems Literary Emporium, your family-owned nonprofit community bookstore right here in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And today on Ask the Author, we have Ms. Tamara Harris, who is the author of this book, Pies Forever Farm. And we're so happy to have her today. Thank you, Ms. Harris, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and so why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are and why you wrote this book.
Okay, well, my name is Tamara Harris, as you already said, and I'm a farmer in Ringos, New Jersey, actually. And so pretty much I share my horses and animals with children, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, to continue to share the animals with the children and to broaden who can enjoy some of my animals, and here I am.
How did you get a farm? Let's start there.
So it actually happened by happenstance. I was into real estate, and one of the realtors that I met, he said he wished I was interested in land. I was really just buying single family houses and multifamily houses, and so I asked him, well, tell me what you're talking about. And he took me to Hunterdon County, which is like a whole nother world. It's like the South in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I ended up, moving forward. And so at first I wasn't really, planning to own animals and have the animals. I was planning on boarding animals, and other people were going to be able to, take care of them on my property. But as people learn, once you start to get around these animals, and if you're someone who loves the outdoors,
yeah,
I fell in love. So I fell in love with the animals. I fell in love with, what they do for you. And so here I am.
What do animals do for you?
So I led you into that one, right?
You sure did.
Actually, they're forever friends.
Yeah.
Non-judgmental. They teach you a lot of discipline, work ethic, and for me, they were peace. And what I mean by that is, I've had stressful jobs, and some of the things that just would make me feel better when I worked from home is to go out in the barn and sweep the floor. And it was just something soothing about that.
Right.
And so I appreciated that, and it just, if you want a stress reliever, for me, it's being around these animals.
Why horses?
That's what I was introduced to in the beginning. So I have other animals on the farm, but in the beginning I was introduced to horses, and when you first are around them, you may be intimidated because they're so big and they're so robust. But there's an aura about it. I mean, I believe all animals are God's creatures and God's gift to us. And, what they mean to adults and kids is a lot. I mean, just it's a fantasy world of all little kids want to have a pony.
Yeah.
And as an adult, they have personalities. They have personalities that, unlike humans, they're very forgiving all the time. I shouldn't say unlike humans. I should say that they just don't hold grudges.
Right.
Animals don't hold grudges, and sometimes we can. And so they could teach us something. They could teach us a lot, actually. And so I just love being around them. And horses, the thrill of riding a horse, that in itself is, I don't know if you ever did.
I want to.
Well, now that you know me, you should.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
should. And so just riding on them, there's a sense of peace. It's this robust animal that you're on as a person, and they carry you through. They carry you wherever you're going. And it's like that for little kids too.
Yeah.
They get on this big creature and they show nothing but love.
Right. Yeah, I've always wanted to ride a horse, and I think what stops a lot of people from doing that, maybe not necessarily is even fear, but it's just access. Like, where am I going to go to get a horse? I mean, where am I going to ride a horse?
Right.
But So New Joy Farm is where?
It's in Hunterdon County,
Okay.
a town called Ringgoes, also known as East Anwell, New Jersey. And yeah, I have a party room, party space where people could come out. And then I also like to bring the book to life. You know, sometimes when we read the book, it's a fantasy world that you can never be a part of. Well, in this world, even though Pies Forever Farm is a fictional story, it's based on the animals on the farm.
Yeah.
And so it sort of brings that book to life for kids, and I love that.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the book. And so Pies Forever Farm, what age would you say this book is for? And what do you want them to get from it?
So I would say Pies Forever Farm is for children 5 years, 6 years, 7. Sandy is a young character in it. She's a child and she meets Pie, a pony. And so it's a book about friendship. It's a book that teaches young kids about patience because they can't be together right away. They have to go through some periods of waiting. And also it's about animal rescue, and it could even talk about adoption. Parents could use that to talk about adoption, how you choose who you're bringing into your life and your family, and that's a precious gift. So it could evoke all those different conversations, and one, I just want children to enjoy it.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about it is that it's so beautifully illustrated, and I think one of the things that can pull especially young children into reading is vibrancy in the pages. So we're not going to show the whole book, but I do want to show a little bit. So I just flipped over to this page. You want to talk a little bit about this page?
So this is when Mom comes back to Pie and Sandy and tells them that she has good news and bad news because Sandy asked Mom if Pie could come with them.
Yeah.
After seeing them at the rescue. So that's where that's at. And I was very, it was very important to me to have vibrant colors.
Yeah.
It was important to really just bring out the imagination for kids and stuff like that. And I know they love colors. I love color, and that was something that I looked for when I found my illustrator.
Yeah.
I was looking for. This artist was actually pretty great.
I think he or she did a really great job. And so it's funny that we're having this interview now because we were talking to another woman about the importance of, well, her focus is cats, but we were talking about the importance of encouraging people to soften their heart to animals, and especially, bringing animals in your home. Not saying that you could bring a pony in your home,
Right.
but just saying, softening your heart to taking care of animals. And I mean, what you did is you did create a home for a lot of different animals. Can we talk about some of the animals that you have in your farm?
Absolutely. So I agree with you. It's animals are, they need to be cared for. They need to be cared for 24/7. You do not get a day off from taking care of animals. So you gotta love it in order to own an animal. And like I said, it teaches kids discipline and things of that nature. And so some of the animals, and did you know that some people have pet pigs that they keep in the house?
I've heard, but they really do that.
They really do that. There were people I met that had a pig in their house. Now I have a pig, so you asked about some of the animals.
Yeah.
But she's an outdoors pig, and she's with all the other animals.
Right.
I have goats. I have chickens, and by the way, I get the eggs from the chickens. That's what I use them for.
Okay.
I have sheep.
Wow.
And they're sheep that don't have all of the wool that's on
Oh,
the
okay.
animals, so it's toned down for shaving and but I use mine for petting zoos. I do not eat my animals.
Okay. And so, a lot of us have grandparents who, grew up on farms, but I mean, a lot of us come from the story of our grandparents lived down south, and then we moved up north, and then now we're in apartments or cities, and we were kind of detached from that world. And instead of going to the backyard to get eggs, you have to go to Walmart or a supermarket. It's just not the same. And that's one of the things that I love about what you're doing is you're kind of having us recall that life that we used to live and having us remember. But not only that, giving us a tangible way to kind of engage with that. You know, I don't remember the last time I saw a goat in real life. I'm serious. Okay, I want to talk about the book a little bit more, but I have a few questions about the farm animals.
Absolutely.
So, do you run this entire farm by yourself?
Yes and no. So I'm the main caretaker, but I do hire people to help me take care of the animals. Like I said, it's a 24/7 job. So if I ever, went on vacation, things of that nature, I actually had a part-time person working that did half the work. But during COVID, he had other priorities that he had to attend to. So I still get help, not as much as I used to, but that's about to change because I am looking for help. And so I'll be posting jobs soon. So.
Okay. And so you don't have to wake up at the crack of dawn. Like when Raymond's grandma tells us about her farm, she's like, we have to wake up at the crack of dawn to like do all these things.
Right. So not at the crack of dawn, but I'm up pretty early, and especially when I had a full-time job. So when I had a full-time job, I was getting up early, taking care of the animals, and then going to work. I'm blessed to be able to do this full time now. And so, but I still get up pretty early in the morning. And the animals are expecting it. I mean, they're at the fence looking dead at the house to say, it's time to feed me, so let's go. And so, but like I've told other people, when you get up in the morning, there's beautiful views at sunrise. And some moments that you just gotta sit back and relax and enjoy them.
Question. Well, you said I could ask this question, so I'm gonna ask it. So, I mean, I remember when I was younger, you know how they have the horses they ride around town and stuff like that. When I was younger, I'll never forget, I saw a horse, do his business on the street, and it was so much. And we used to have dogs, because we would train dogs, and when they would have puppies, we would find homes for them and things like that. And I just remember the poop, and it was just a lot. And now I'm thinking about horses, and that's just a lot of poop. So what do you do with the poop, and how did you get used to handling that much poop?
It's actually not that bad.
How can it not? Okay, but what do you mean?
So the horse manure is different from, dog poop, because we feed dogs a lot of stuff we eat, and they eat their dog food, and it smells pretty bad. Horses are vegetarians.
True.
So all they eat is hay, grain, and things that grow from the ground. So it's not necessarily that bad. They don't eat other animals, or not, they don't eat meat. And so it's a matter of just spreading it, and it refertilizes the land. My ground is very fertile.
Wow.
And when we go out to parties and events, we take it with us. We don't just allow the animals to poop, because we know not everyone is used to it, and it's definitely big. That's what they call it, cherry or apple picking, and they're meaty sized poops, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, because horses are vegetarian, so it wouldn't smell as bad as...
It doesn't. It smells... I would be around that hands down than dog poop. Everyone hates when they step in dog poop. You wouldn't hate it as much with the horses, so... Yeah,
and so, but the cleanup, I mean, I would assume... Well, a lot of the animals that you have are vegetarians, like the cows.
Yeah, they all eat from the land. Again, it's the circle of life on the farm. I mean, they eat grass, they eat hay, they eat grain. It's the same for the goats, the sheep. None of them eat other animals. So, yes.
Do you have crops?
I don't have crops, but that is something I'm beginning to get into. I believe in sharecropping and growing your own organic foods and stuff like that. So this is something new that I am getting into.
Okay. Because it makes sense, especially when you said that your land is fertile and you have all the fertilizer in the world. You know what I mean? It'd be,
Right.
Okay, I just want to read the summary, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the event.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap up. So, Pie's Forever Farm. We wanted to create a fictional children's story to share Pie, a dedicated party pony on our farm with more children around the world. Designed to introduce animal rescue to children in a friendly and fun manner, this book follows the journey of Pie and Sandy when they meet for the first time at a rescue. This fun, rhyming picture book can spark conversations about adoption, friendship, and patience, as both Sandy and Pie have to wait until they can be one happy family.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name Pie, but how do you name your animals?
So that's a funny story. One time I did an event early on, and I had sheep, and I didn't really give them a name yet. And so when I brought them out, one of the kids was like, "That's peanut butter and that's jelly." And I said, "You know what? That is peanut butter and that is jelly." And so I started to then name the animals names that kids would love. And so we got Pie. I put a little spin on it, so I call them Pie, like apple pie, but I spell it P-I, as in pie chart, you know what I mean, mathematics. So I put little spins on it. I have an Oreo. He looks like, he's a pony, but he looks like an Oreo cookie. He has white spots and he's black. And so we call him Oreo. We spell it a little different, but when kids hear those names, they love it. We have a peaches and cream.
Oh, that's nice.
So he's now running out of desserts
Tons,
and stuff.
right?
I got a latte. I got a mocha. Actually, my very first horse was I called him Mocha.
Wow.
So I just went along the food line.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your event. So Tamara is going to be here April 29th on Independent Bookstore Day, doing a book signing and pony rides here at Hidden Gems. And so let's talk about why you wanted to do this event.
Absolutely. So I wanted to, this is the act. This is one of my first events since bringing the book out. And this is part of bringing the book to life. So I want to come out. I want to bring Pie out. I have a little stand for Pie to do a book signing. And I know their attraction is not me. It's the animals. So, and I get that. And I want them to enjoy, looking and seeing and feeling and touching this live creature that is in this book.
Right.
And so that's why I want to do the event. And I want to introduce Pie and the farm to young kids. I hope to do a series that will further introduce other animals that we have on the farm, but I really want them to enjoy and see the book come to life.
I think that would be great. And so where can people get the tickets for this event?
So they can go to newjoyfarm.com/tickets. And it'll take them right to where they could look at what we're going to be doing here and what the tickets are going to cost. So it's available online right now. Okay.
And you can also go to that website to find out more information about having New Joy Farm come to your event.
Absolutely.
And if you need a job, then that'll be on there
We're
too.
We're hiring.
That's great. One last thing. What would you say to maybe a young person, maybe as young as my son who's running around here, who they come to the event, they fall in love with Pie, and now they want to farm?
I would love for that to happen, and I want people of all walks of life, especially people that look like us, to be able to feel like they can have a farm. And if that's something they want, let's chat about it, and let's nurture that desire even as a little child, that's something they could obtain. And I would say bring them out to see the farm, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you so much for coming by. And we'll see you again on April 29th, and hopefully all of you as well here at 55B Moore Street, New Brunswick, New Jersey. Please go to newjoyfarm.com/tickets to get tickets. We're going to be coloring, we're going to be petting ponies, riding ponies, taking
Yes.
pictures.
Yes.
And Tamara will also be reading from her book, Pies Forever Farm. We love you guys for reading. This is actually yours. Should we have her sign it for us?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please sign it to Truth and Wisdom?
All right, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll do that. And New Joy Farm.
Okay, at New Joy Farm. And so Truth, are you gonna ride the pony?
You are.
What is the cutoff age for you to get on the pony?
There's no cutoff age. I mean,
Really?
when you're a child, I mean, you might want to do one. I don't know if you want to do weeks old, but we service people 1 and above. It's just when you're 3 and younger, you just need a parent to walk alongside them. Our horses are docile, they're calm,
Yeah.
and they're made for children. And I guess at the younger age of the child, it's really for the parents, and we see that all the time.
Right.
The parents just want
Them to
see
get on
their-
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they take the photo to remember it. And
Right.
say, you were on a horse at you know, 6 months.
One more question that I just thought of. Do you do horseback riding lessons?
So I'm actually going to be starting that come the summer.
Okay.
We're going to be doing horseback riding lessons, and we're going to be, doing camps in the summer for children to come out to.
Oh, horseback riding summer camp.
Yes.
Okay. We'll be there. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.